Darker hues are emerging on the young and the restless's canvas, where individuals on the verge of collapse reveal their true selves and desperation clashes with ruthless ambition. As Victor Newman begins yet another brutal campaign of domination, and Audra's brittle control crumbles into a stunning meltdown, the most recent spoilers plot an unstable course across Genoa City. Early spoilers point to a plot that will astound viewers, with danger seeping into previously safe areas of the Newman Empire and rifts growing in every alliance. Audra Charles' survival has always been based on icy looks, sharp heels, and chess move-accurate tactics. However, beneath her flawless exterior is a lurking sense of insecurity. The rumors coming from Genoa City suggest that she is starting to lose her cool under the constant strain. Her meticulously controlled world is becoming unstable due to decisions she has no control over. Her vulnerabilities have been further highlighted by her closeness to the power battles within the Newman family. According to early leaks, she will ultimately lose control in a furious outburst that surprises even her closest supporters. Not only is her meltdown emotional, but it also poses a threat to the very networks she built to defend herself. She is dangerously exposed due to the gaps in her armor, and enemies are observing. Victor Newman is advancing with inexorable accuracy, even if Audra is disintegrating. The patriarch, who has long been linked to brutal retaliation and power struggles, is shown moving farther along his road of hatred. This feud isn't your typical one. Victor's new approach is characterized in early previews as total eradication. Victory is not enough for him. He wants dominance, which excludes opposition and rebellion. Even familial ties might not be enough to protect Victor's children from his merciless crusade, given his unwavering determination. Those who support him must blindly follow, and those who oppose him run the risk of being crushed under his heel. Loyalty turns become a weapon and alliances break down in this environment. According to spoilers, his intentions go beyond competitor businesses. His rage may also affect those closest to him personally, drastically altering Genoa City. Victor's ascent is framed by Audra's disintegration. She was once respected for her icy efficiency, but now she's in a tight spot. She might be pushed over the line by a covert error, a betrayal that comes to light again, or maybe a persistent sense of remorse. The meltdown won't be silent. It's supposed to burst into scenes where Audra's emotions take precedence over strategy, and her rage spills into both private and boardroom settings. This fall is more than just drama for the audience. In Genoa City, it serves as a sobering reminder of the price of ambition. Audra's demise serves as a metaphor for what occurs when a player of the power game overestimates their capacity to strike a balance between humanity and ruthlessness. Her breakdown could also give others the chance to take advantage of her vulnerability, including foes and allies who might question if it's worth the collateral harm to stand by her side. Meanwhile, there is a disturbing undertone to Victor's Warpath. Strategies that verge on psychological warfare are hinted at in early spoilers. Victor is prepared to play on anxieties, reveal secrets, and take advantage of emotional weaknesses rather than just destroying corporate empires. When he sharpens his concentration, everyone is at risk. Friends, kids, spouses, and competitors could all fall into a well-crafted trap. Victor is portrayed in this new chapter of his dominance narrative more as a general in charge of an all-out campaign than as a businessman. Rumors that he might even set family against family and sever ties that once seemed unshakable add to the brutality. The Newman dynasty's internal disintegration becomes a greater threat than only exterior adversaries. Genoa City shudders as Victor sharpens his claws. Additionally, the consequences of Audra losing control spread swiftly. According to spoilers, collateral damage is unavoidable. Relationships may break down, business transactions may fall through, and reputations may be ruined. Employees running for cover, competitors spotting openings, and family members torn between survival and loyalty are just a few examples of the external repercussions. Victor's ruthless battleground and Audra's volcanic eruption combine to form a poisonous mixture that might swallow up everyone in its path. Some may see sudden rises to prominence, while others may experience long-term exile from the city's elite circles. This narrative is so captivating because of the unadulterated humanity that lies beneath the power struggles and plotting. After months of wearing the mask too tightly, Audra's breakdown reveals her vulnerability and paints a picture of a woman pushed beyond her breaking point. However, Victor's outburst shows how unbridled power may destroy even familial love, leaving only ruthless resolve. The tension created by this juxtaposition between fragility and dominance, breakdown and control, is sure to captivate viewers. The weight of repressed emotion and an imminent explosion permeates every encounter and confrontation. According to spoilers, Victor's Warpath and Audra's collapse are not the only arcs. Rather, they are overlapping plots that will eventually collide dramatically. Victor's meticulously planned strategies may be derailed by Audra's instability. In turn, Victor's brutal tactics might make Audra's descent into anarchy worse. Their collision might set off a chain of events so violent that Genoa City might never fully recover. Unpredictably, Audra may strike out, entangling others in her destructive circle. Uncompromising, Victor will strike back with ruthlessness and accuracy. A war of attrition involving emotional blackmail, public humiliation, and heartbreaking betrayals is probably what will emerge. Without taking into account the silent hands that might be molding these arcs from the shadows, no spoiler would be complete. There is never a shortage of puppeteers in Genoa City, schemers who take advantage of vulnerability and incite strife for their own benefit. Rivals may use Audra's breakdown as the ideal pretext to launch an attack. Victor may become distracted from subtle threats on his dominion by his all-consuming warpath. The unseen participants might emerge as the mayhem develops, demonstrating that Audra and Victor are not the only powerful and vicious characters to be afraid of. Deeper interest is promised by this multi-layered storytelling, which will keep viewers wondering at every turn. The delicate balance between love, rivalry, and ambition is what makes Genoa City so successful. However, the city appears to be on the verge of collapsing as these revelations reveal. The connections and social networks that maintain power are in danger due to Audra's uncontrolled spiral. In an attempt to gain control, Victor's Warpath runs the risk of destroying the entire terrain. No one will escape unhurt, according to the early teases. By the time the dust settles, dynasties may fall apart, friendships will break down, and Genoa City's idea of power itself may change. Extremes, love and hate, success and failure, devotion and treachery, are what the young and the restless thrives on. The show is about to embark on a chapter of relentless tension as Audra's breakdown and Victor's vicious warpath collide. These spoilers promise viewers an emotional roller coaster of devastation, resiliency, and startling disclosures as they depict a storm that threatens to engulf everyone. According to Young and the Restless spoilers, Victor Newman, Eric Braden, is on the warpath, and Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, is unhinged. As we always do on the day of the early edition, we discuss the remainder of this week before diving into the following week. While jogging on Wednesday, September 3rd, Audra and Kyle Abbott, played by Michael Mueller, bump into one another, teasing and insulting one another. "Keep her name out of your mouth," says Kyle, Michael Mueller, in response to her criticizing Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron. Kyle responds that Audra is the one who wants him, and Audra says that he is upset because he is attracted to her. On soap operas, we are all aware of the consequences of arguing. We'll see, but I believe these two will be back in bed far too soon. Kyle makes fun of Audra by claiming that she has lost everything. Audra believes that Kyle is lying when he claims that Victor has changed his mind and is now supporting him and Claire. Victor is lying, in my opinion, as well. When his son returns to the Abbott mansion, Jack Abbott, played by Peter Birdman, and Kyle discuss his Audra confrontation. Claire abandoned the proposal and hasn't gotten back to Kyle, which worries him. He fears losing Claire, so he truly doesn't want to be patient and leave her alone. Kyle claims that Claire will see how committed he is if he can force Audra to leave town. His next big gesture is this: Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, is doing a fantastic job with Abbottcom, and the launch with a 50s theme is going to be fantastic. Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, tells Jack over the phone. As Sally enters and tells Billy she's frightened yet excited, they hang up. He displays to her a newspaper mock-up, a fictitious publication he created that discusses Sally's accomplishment. The society page also reports that Billy loves Sally and wants her to live with him. Billy is certain about this, but she isn't. even before asking Sally to move in. He tells her that he had the newspaper printed up a few weeks prior. Although Billy claims that his children enjoy her, she is equally concerned about their reaction. Sally is likewise concerned about living and working together, but Billy assures her that everything will work out. At last, she consents to move in. Claire is in the GCAC bar with Nathan Owen's character, Holden Novak. Claire requests shots while they are enjoying their typical Vespers. She wants to cut loose and get wasted. "Don't babysit me," she says as Holden says, "Slow down." Knowing that something is amiss, he asks Claire what it is. She informs him about Audra and Victor's nefarious scheme to harm her and Kyle. Claire is warned by Holden that Audra is trouble. Claire inquires about his and Audra's stay in Los Angeles. She anticipates more shenanigans from Audra, but Holden tells her to let karma finish her off. Claire admits to Holden that she has a very troubled past, and that he truly has no idea what she is capable of. When Audra overhears them conversing at the bar, she leaps in as if she's about to snare them. Since Victor is the one who consistently does special things for her, Nikki Newman, played by Melody Thomas Scott, gives him a romantic evening on Thursday, September 4th, to show him how much she loves him. Claire attacks Audra at the GCAC bar in the meanwhile. Claire has some things to say to that woman, and she's already a little tipsy. I do wonder if Audra will elaborate on any of the specifics Kyle omitted about what transpired in France, such as the fact that he was on top of Audra on the bed and was largely nude, wearing only a towel. Claire might not forgive him if she learned everything, according to Audra. Therefore, she might tell everything. On Thursday, Christian Jules Lebling's character, Michael Baldwin, receives an intriguing offer. I wonder if it is to work for the Winters Company, or if Lauren Fenmore, Tracy Bregman, wants him to work at Fenmore's. Or perhaps it's something a little more trivial, like officiating the upcoming wedding of Christine Williams, Laura Lee Bell, and Danny Romalotti, Michael Damian, which is scheduled for October on Young and the Restless. Victor informs the family on Friday, September 5th, that we are going to war. We know that Nick Newman, played by Joshua Morrow, is eager to take down Java if he makes the announcement, but I'm not sure if Nikki and Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, will agree. Unless Claire discovers that Kyle was on top of Audra in that towel, I doubt she will be. However, she still has feelings for Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters, and Jack, so perhaps not. Additionally, Lily Winters, Crystal Collill, attempts to get Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, to tell the truth. Lily is quite curious about his plans. I'm curious if she discovers that something is happening at Winters, and because that is his next aim, she might suspect him of being involved. Michelle Stafford's character Phyllis Summers overreacts and could perhaps ruin things for herself once more. She was questioning Amanda Sinclair, Michelle Morden, and she refuses to realize that Kane is giving up and that she no longer has a job there. Fortunately, though, she didn't offer her much to work with. Jack and Diane worry about the worst for their son during the week of September 8 to 12. Kyle is determined to chase Audra out of town in order to prove himself to Claire. Kyle lacks patience and composure, and he won't allow Claire any room because he believes that if she does, she would change her mind and end their relationship. Diane and Jack are quite concerned about this, since they dislike it when Kyle plots because he tends to go dark. Claire truly wanted to slap Audra's face, so their heated fight would end with more tea being spilled, or perhaps blood. Holden will undoubtedly be caught in the middle, attempting to prevent them from physically assaulting one another. Regarding Audra and Holden, he also has information regarding what transpired in LA between Audra and Tucker McCall, played by Trevor Street John, and the predicament that Holden helped her escape. I wonder whether he will reveal those details to assist Claire in defeating Audra. The gloves might be taken off if she is using foul language against Holden during her altercation with Audra. In my opinion, the proposition that was put to him is addressed by Michael. Remember how Victor informed Kane that he was going to tell people that this woman had been duped by Colin Atkinson, Tristan Rogers, and that she had given him all of her inheritance. The will that Victor currently possesses demonstrates that Colin inherited. However, that does not establish that Colin was a scammer. Furthermore, Colin has been deceased for what? More than half a year. Since Kane's father passed away some time ago, I don't think the fact that he got money from a woman will cause much of a fuss.